How are you ladies doing this morning? I hope you're all doing wonderful. If this is your very first time watching, then welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Michelle, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here today for another video. Today, I want to talk to you about law of attraction, manifestation, vision boards, all of these things that are kind of floating around the community because I've gotten so many questions and emails about this. And some of you ladies have experienced things that weren't the best. And you've asked me what I think about it, if I endorse it, if I have a certain way of going about it, and I want to answer those questions. So go ahead and sit back, relax, grab something to drink, grab something to write with, and let's talk about this. Now, I remember a few years ago when I was on YouTube, I wanted videos to help me with goal setting, with building my confidence in certain things, and I stumbled across law of attraction and manifestation. And I'm like, what is this? It seemed very positive. It seemed like something that was a little bit strange because I didn't understand how the two connected. And so I went ahead and tried it out. I'm like, I just want to see if this thing works. And I tried it out. And it worked. And I attracted into my life something that to this day I regret. I wish I would have never done it. But before I get into that piece, I want to first talk to you about what it is. Because so many of you ladies have been emailing me things and asking me questions about it. I hesitated on doing this video. I wanted to do it a long time ago when I went through my experience, but I just didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to talk about it, plain and simple. But hearing from you ladies and knowing that I do have that social responsibility to help guide you in ways and in things that you may not know about, I thought it was necessary to go ahead and address it in a video. So if you've emailed me about it, this is your answer. So I believe that manifestation and law of attraction in it of itself is a positive thing. With everything in life, you have to understand that there is truth, which is original information, and then there are ways that people use it and twist it and turn it, and you have to understand where that line is drawn so you don't get swept away into something different. What is law of attraction? When God created this beautiful world, He instilled certain laws that nature functions by. When you hear about the laws of nature, these are things that you've heard about your entire life, like the laws of gravity, the laws of motion. These are things that no matter what you want, what you hope for, if you jump off of a building, you're going to go down. You're not going to go up. That is a law of nature. So the law of attraction is a law that's built into the universe. The law of attraction is that like attracts like. If you think great thoughts, then great things come to you. However, in order to understand the law of attraction, you have to understand other laws of nature, like the law of vibration, the way that we as humans vibrate, and we have to heighten ourselves to be able to get good things. So people will use terms like raising your vibration in order to attract the things that you want. So these are things I would just encourage you to look into in your own time. But whenever you are trying out something online, something someone has taught you, it's important to do your own research and figure out what it really means. Figure out everything you need to know about something before you start doing it, especially when it impacts your life. So in me making this video, my main takeaway is to be careful. In it of itself, the law of attraction and manifesting what you want, which is the idea of thinking about something that you want, visualizing it, pretending like you already have it, are not negative things. They're also not new things. This is science, and science is a combination of a hypothesis, research, and proving whether or not that hypothesis was true or false. None of this is new information. We're just now discovering things. But these things have always been here. Nothing under the sun is new. But there are so many things that are here in this world today that started off as something positive and in the midst of it turned into something more dark or led to a pathway of something more dark. And that's why I want you to be careful, because these are scientific things. They are things that are in the spiritual realm. A lot of what you're doing are tapping into the spiritual realm. And especially for those of you who are Christians or who do believe in God, you have to understand that science and God are meant to work together. The Bible has said all of these things. We are just now catching up to it. We're just now figuring things out. And science continuously gets things wrong. So it's important for you to understand that they're drawing from something that's already existed. It's already been here. And maybe calling it different things or telling you to go about it in a different way, because that is the world that we live in. But nothing is new under the sun. So I want you to be careful, because what's happening, or what I'm seeing, are pretty women on YouTube who are telling you to do things, and because they're excited about it, because they're telling you that they manifested $1,000 in one day, you're following them, blindly following them, and not understanding that there is a spiritual aspect to this. And in this world, we have, positive spirits, and then we have demonic spirits. We have a dark side. This is a fallen world. And the messages I'm getting are from ladies who have done things to where they're experiencing very negative things in their life, and they have no idea how they attract it. If I want something, if I desire something, I understand that if God put that desire in my heart, then it was something He wanted me to have. Maybe not when I want it, but at some point in life, and I trust that. So if I'm manifesting something, if I'm desiring it, if I'm visualizing it, I'm also praying about it and asking for God's permission. I'm asking for God's will to be done. You don't want to attract things in your life and leave God out of it, because you may think that you want that man, and that man could be the cause to your entire destruction. You may think you want that particular car, didn't consult God about anything, and that car could be the destruction of your life. The same thing can come from people, jobs, money, or getting a certain apartment somewhere that you're manifesting, and those things could end up being your very destruction because you didn't consult first. In everything that you want, you have to consult your Creator. There is no way around it. This is God's world. And you might say, well, I don't believe in God. I believe in law of attraction. I believe in science. If you say that you don't believe in God, you believe solely in law of attraction, science, manifesting, creating your own life, doing your own thing, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense, because one, you are putting faith in something. You believe in some sort of power. That is you searching for God. Everyone is searching for God, just in different ways and in different things. You're still doing that same process, but in a way that cuts out the original information, in a way that cuts out the truth. And what you're also saying is that you know enough about every single thing to where you can say, this doesn't exist. And so that would mean that you have researched everything, you have discovered everything, you know everything, and you can certainly say it doesn't exist. And unfortunately, that's just not true for anyone. The second side of this is the idea that for those of you who say, well, when I manifest, I still pray about it, I still work towards it, A, B, C, and D, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and this is just kind of part of my process. If that's the case for you, then you need to give God credit when you get it. If you've manifested this new home, and when you post it on Instagram, you say, oh, I manifested this great home, where is the credit that you've given to God? It then says that you did this by yourself. This was something you brought upon yourself. You brought it to yourself with no help. You created your own destiny with no help from God whatsoever. If you find yourself being a believer of God, then that is also something you need to really take a hard look at. One of my biggest issues with manifestation is the fact that people don't give God any credit. It's all about what you did. You brought this thing onto yourself. And what you will find more often than not is that when you do that kind of stuff, it doesn't work out for you. If you completely exclude God, you see what happens in the long run. As a psychologist, I get to hear everything. All the things that people don't tell you after they post their videos, I get to hear. What actually happens, the things that they're not going to share with you. And being someone who's experienced it before it was this popular, just kind of trying things out, I experienced a manifestation where I did not consult God, and it ended up being the one thing I truly regret. And ladies, something I want you to be very, very careful about, especially here on YouTube, is who you are listening to. People have to be able to have some sort of credibility before you just do what they're telling you to do. If you don't see evidence of certain things in a person's life, that's not the person you should be listening to. You should have discernment. You should be able to look at someone and say, not buying it. It doesn't matter how beautiful they are. It doesn't matter how well spoken they are. If you don't see evidence of God's favor in their life, evidence, then you need to back up and evaluate. Don't just do it. Especially people you cannot see. I find it very necessary to be able to look at someone and kind of figure out from their cadence, from their eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Looking into someone's eyes will tell you a whole lot about that person in terms of the spirit that they are carrying. I don't want advice from someone who I feel has any demonic spirits in them, anything that is negative, anything that is questionable. I can tell that by just looking at a person. But if I can't see you, then I have no idea who you are. I have no idea what you're about, and that is a concern. Be careful. That is why I'm getting so many messages from you ladies who have done things where you're now experiencing demonic attacks. You're experiencing things that you can't even explain in your life, and they're so damaging and negative because you listen to people from all over the place without truly considering who this person was. You want to make sure that you can see not only their physical appearance, but their life. What does this person have that they have the credibility to be giving you this advice? Where is the evidence of that in their life? Why are you just taking advice from anyone? That is not wise. We have to use wisdom. And in addition to that, if someone is telling you, well, I manifested $100,000 in one day, and you're like, whoa, who wouldn't want $100,000 in one day? Who wouldn't want that, right? However, when it comes to money, there are no ways around it. As I talked about, the Bible being the original information and science is just barely catching up to it, Talk to any medical doctor, talk to lawyers, talk to anyone in fields that we build our nations upon. Everything that they got was extracted from the Bible. We are just now catching up. So with original information, we know certain things are true. No matter how this world tries to twist and turn things, there are things you cannot get away from. So if you manifest $500 tomorrow through your manifestation process that you excluded God from and you somehow got it to yourself through the spiritual realm, there is nothing that goes to say that your car won't need new tires tomorrow as well, to where you lose that $500 and some more money because your money was taken away from you. You don't get without giving. There are laws around that as well. Nothing comes to you in those kinds of ways. You have to sow. And when you sow, you receive. There is no magical process around it. Taking, wanting, and not giving will never give you abundance. You can sit there and say these things all day long and you will not find success, because that's not how God created the world. So this message was not meant to condemn anyone, to scare anyone, but I've received all of these messages and I'm so sorry that so many of you ladies have experienced negative things by doing some of these spiritual practices, always remember, honey, that you are spirits. You possess a body. You possess your soul, but you are inherently spirits. This is a spiritual world. And we have to remember that there are lots of things going on around us that we have to pay attention to. Be careful. Manifestation in and of itself, law of attraction in and of itself are not negative things. They're actually built upon biblical things. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You attract what you are. Whatever you think you are is whatever is going to come to you. Whatever you think about is what's going to come your way. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. The earth was created with words. Let there be light. Okay, everything that we see was created with words. So words do hold power. And thoughts hold power because thoughts are just words. Whatever it is that you are thinking in your mind, you are thinking in words. If you don't know the words, you can't have the thoughts. That's why years and years ago during slavery, they didn't want slaves to read. The more words you know, the more you're able to change your circumstances because you can now have new thoughts. It sounds a little complicated, but in and of itself, your thoughts and your words, when they're said and spoken, have power. The concept of raising your vibration to attract good into your life, all of those concepts are embedded in the Bible. Gratitude. That's one of the biggest ways to raise your vibration. Come on, gratitude, giving. These are things that are plugged in. You have the access to all of these things already in a way that's going to guarantee your safety and true longevity and abundance. You don't need to pick up all of these practices and pathways into very dark things, especially here on YouTube, if you're not careful. Be careful. Some of these videos, some of these people behind these videos are into things that you have no idea about. So I want you to use discernment. I want you to always take everything to God. Don't just do new things without consulting. In everything that you ask for, ensure that you say, if it is your will, God. Make sure you are always operating under God's protection in His will so that you know that whatever comes your way, you are protected. And most importantly, give God credit when you get it. Don't just say you manifested it. And be careful who you watch. Make sure you can see the person, look into their eyes, discern their spirit, and always pray about it. So that is my opinion. I thank you ladies so much for being here and watching this video. If you have anything that you want to share, please leave a comment below. If you have any experiences that you want to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you all so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. Thank you for all of your love and all of your kindness. I appreciate every single one of you. And thank you for trusting me enough to ask me my opinion on this stuff, because I do want to make sure that you are always in a safe place and that you do have the knowledge to be able to make the best decisions for your life. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Big kisses to you all. Mwah.